Come in. What are you doing?
There's a load of rubbish up here. Flaming kids must have climbed up at a party by the look of it.
Well, sorry to hear that, but about my clutch.
Shut up about your ruddy clutch.
You're gonna kill me?
Yeah, well, that would have been a bonus. This is what my flaming life's come to. Rubbish. Endless, pointless mess.
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
Welcome to episode 394 of The Talk of the Street, an unofficial Coronation Street catch-up podcast that thinks the most unbelievable part of the show this week was that several cans were thrown from the garage roof and only one of them hit Brian's head. I'm Gavin.
See, this is the problem, is that I never know what you're going to say.
No.
And so I listen, and because I'm not prepared, I just automatically laugh when it's something that's actually funny.
Something that's actually funny.
Like that.
Excellent. Good. That's like when I won the short story competition at primary school and my prize was some paints.
Uh-huh.
Which managed to say, congratulations, now go do something else. So yeah, I'm feeling the same emotions now.
Oh, well, I mean, you're not funny all the time. You're funny most of the time.
My mum used to think I was funny.
Your mum also let you wash in the living
She
room.
didn't think I was funny at all. She never laughed at my jokes.
Actually, that's true.
Anyway, how are you this week?
Yeah, well, I've had 2 key incidents and 2 medical incidents this week. So it's been a roller coaster of fun and adventure.
By key, you mean actual car key, not important.
Yes.
Although they were kind of important.
Yeah, well, yes.
One of them was, anyway.
Yes, the other one was just remembering that I have a key to your car so I don't have to take your car keys because I have keys of my own.
Yeah, this is what passes for drama in our house.
Well, the other one was quite dramatic because I got stuck immobile at a gas station in East Lansing because my key fob fell out of my pocket and I didn't realize it until I turned my key off 18 miles away from my key fob.
When you turned the car off.
Yes.
Because you've got a fancy press this button to start and stop.
Right, yes.
It should have alerted you that the key was not detected.
Well, see,
it should have been doing that incessantly as you were driving away from it.
It did it once, and I thought it was because I and the key fob had gotten out of the car while the car was running and then was back in, and I was like, oh, well, it's just saying that because the key fob was out of the car for a while, but I'd left the car running because I wanted it to stay warm, and I was only ducking into warehouse 10 to speak to my coworker before leaving because most of my work is in warehouse 5. So there.
Should I be pressing a button or something?
So I drove off, and it let me drive off because it was already running. And my coworker kept trying to call me while I was driving to East Lansing from DeWitt. And
some local knowledge necessary for this story.
And I kept dinging it because I was driving and was trying to be a responsible adult and not answer the phone while I'm driving. And then I get there, I get to the gas station, I turn off the car, and then I look at my phone and I see her message about the key fob, and I'm like, oh crap, and tried to turn the car back on and it wouldn't turn back on.
You tried to turn it back on again, bless your heart.
Well, I was like, because you know sometimes where you can roll your window back up, even when the car keys are out and the car's off? Like sometimes it's just got enough juice to let you do that before it like completely goes. So I was stuck, and her husband, bless his heart, Troy, nice guy, drove from DeWitt to East Lansing and brought me my key fob. But in between, like I went in and I paid for my gas, and I got my gas, and I got like a Reese's Fast Break bar and an Uncrustable sandwich. and a Dubai chocolate coffee. And then I'm sitting in the car waiting for Troy to show up, and this car with two MSU students pulled in behind me, and I had to get out of the car and tell them they needed to go to another pump because I couldn't get my car started because I'd left my key fob into it. And they were so lovely. They were so sweet. These two kids with like multicolored hair and everything. They were so sweet. They're like, "Oh, we're so sorry that happened. Is there anything we can do for you?" And everything.
Uh-oh.
They were so nice. And I was like, "No, that's okay. This guy's bringing me my key and everything." And then they pulled around. I love Gen Z. Gen Z kids are so nice and so sweet for the most part. They're at least nice and sweet to this old Gen X lady. So
Yeah, that's kind of what that smacks of, I'm afraid. Oh, this poor old lady.
So Troy got there. I'd already gotten my gas
Oh, for fuck's sake.
and everything. And then, and crisis completely averted. And I still had time to get to my therapy appointment. So it was great.
There you go.
Yeah, that
That
was
story
nice.
literally has everything.
It does.
Shall we preamble, my dear?
Yes, please.
Give us some of that rambling Corrie news.
Rest in peace to Peter Rose, former Corrie director of many years who directed the episode in which Deirdre threw a trifle against the wall in 2014
Iconic.
because she was mad because Carla and Tracy were fighting over Peter, who was in prison at the time. Such a gem. Such a person worthy of fighting over.
It's just such a lovely few frames that, taken out of context, work in so many situations. Just Deirdre throwing a trifle at a wall.
Yep.
Beautiful stuff.
Beautiful stuff.
And well captured by Peter Rose.
Yes.
Rest in peace indeed.
Yes, indeed. Sue Devaney, our beloved Debbie, was once told to get an operation to add bone to her knees because she was too short to get work as an actress.
4'11".
I'm so glad she declined because what the fuck?
Seriously.
Seriously, what the fuck? It's one thing when lady actors are asked to, like, get boob jobs or fat sucked out of their bellies or their teeth whitened. Things like that is one thing. But you're too short to get work, so let's make you taller?
Every time I hear about something like this, I'm reminded of the South Park episode where Kyle's dad becomes a dolphin. Just this needless surgery.
Wait, Kyle's dad? Mm-hmm. Isn't Kyle the Jewish one who has like a reasonable father? More reasonable than Stan's dad?
Oh, everyone's more reasonable than Stan's dad.
And Cartman doesn't have a dad.
His dad's his mum.
That's true. Glad we got that covered. It reminded me of that movie that we watched this past year, The Materialists, in which Pedro Pascal's character got the getting
Right.
taller surgery. And that's why, not Sydney Sweeney, the other one. What's the other one? Who's the other actor that can't act? Who's a lady? Who you like and I don't?
Dakota Johnson.
Yes.
I think she can act. I think Sydney Sweeney can act as well.
Dakota Johnson dumps him because he's a billionaire, but he got the knee surgery. And finally, another Emmerdale actor makes the jump to Corrie as Kelly Hollis moves to the cobbles as an inmate in Debbie's prison.
Now, I
And
recognise
that's
this
what
name.
I'm going to call it from now on. It's Debbie's prison.
Oh, spoiler for some events that we're going to be talking about.
We're all just living in it.
Yeah, do I remember
2015.
Do I remember Kelly Hollis? She's got such a familiar name and a familiar face.
There's another former Emmerdale actor who's joining the cast, but that will be next week because that character's not introduced until next week.
Headline in the Mirror, and this says Emmerdale star lets slip role on rival Coronation Street after quitting acting, which could be read in a very strange way.
Yes.
Did you see that Coronation Street's now on Disney Plus?
It's not.
It is.
What?
Breaking news.
Well, it's because of Hulu, right? Because it was on Coronation Street was on Hulu for the longest time, like older episodes.
It's a week behind.
And yet they got rid of Doctor Who. What a strange,
Got to make room for Coronation Street.
strange platform Disney is.
Yeah. Going to see some of those Disney dollars roll in.
Improve the CGI on Coronation Street.
Maybe Roy's Rolls can get an AGA. Who knows where they could spend those mouse pounds.
And that's Corrie News.
That's Corrie News. Well, nobody can say it wasn't Corrie News.
It was Corrie News.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nobody can say it wasn't.
No, because
Nobody can say it
we
wasn't.
had a death. We had
Oh, and a recap.
a new person. And then we had something horrific that somebody said to a female actor on Coronation Street at some point. It's everything.
I believe that Helen Flanagan's written a memoir about the whole thing that she had to endure.
Yes.
Anyway, nobody can say it wasn't Corrie News.
No.
Just like they can't say that it doesn't provide an adequate guide into the feedback section that I like to call Everyone's a Critic. Glenn writes, Eva was at the funeral.
Was she?
Yeah, she was. I watched it back again and she was somewhere in
Like
the
in
middle.
the back or something.
She stands out a little bit because she's taller than most of the people around about
Right.
her.
But you don't really see the pews. It's like there's like one shot of the pews and then it's like close-ups of people being rude and talking during a funeral.
Right. And didn't Todd sell those pews? Maybe it was a different church.
Maybe they bought them back. Yeah, because they were going to go to chairs, just like my mom's church, which was a topic of conversation at Christmas time. How dare they sell the pews and put in chairs? Remember that?
I do remember that.
That was scathing conversation.
Again, what passes for drama. Glenn goes on, what was especially odd was Eva toasting Billy later and saying, to the goat, wherever he might be. Wherever he might be?
Heaven!
Even a non-believer would be generous enough to allow that the vicar is probably in heaven.
Heaven. Well, it's like that, and then with it was George who said something like, no matter what you thought about his occupation, he was a good guy. And it's like, what are we trying to say about people in authority in the church, Coronation Street?
He did mostly good.
Yeah.
That was another thing that they said.
Right, yeah.
He was mostly a positive. Mostly a net positive.
As a vicar.
Josephine writes, places where Corrie is a thing. The royal family is a wonderful watch and I highly recommend it. The family's TV set is almost always on, and even though you never see it, the TV is like a member of the cast in itself. I recall several episodes where Corrie is on the TV and the family comments on the current plot and how hot or not hot a particular character looks. Not only that, but the show also features a young and adorable Andy Wyman and Geoffrey Hughes, who played lovable Scouse binman Eddie Yates, and Sue Johnson, who was on Corrie for several years, playing Gloria Price, Stella's mum. All the best, and thank you so much for the auction talk this week and the other jingles that you can post. You're very welcome, Josephine. Dave writes, hello you two.
Hi.
After there being no show on Tuesday and Wednesday, being a whole Carl and Kev self-pity fest, I do worry that Todd has starved to death already. That was quite funny. I thought that as well. He went from Monday to Friday with £3.50 or so we're led to believe.
Right, yeah, and like nondescript boxes in the cupboard and water in the fridge, and that's about it.
That was it, just the water. A. Silva writes, in the UK we still regard handwritten letters as a gesture of extra sincerity and thoughtfulness.
I think everybody does.
Texting is just not in the same league. We do not see Lisa's vomit on the floor, only in our heads. The disabled access to Underworld is right next to the main entrance. We see it being used occasionally, most notably on Proposal Day. The Becky story being just over grates with me. We had a 15-minute scene in December of Lisa and Carla discussing relationships, but nothing about the event since. Thanks for the entertaining podcast. You're very
You
welcome.
are welcome.
And I think I should have probably hit a... for some of the hindsight corner action that we've been getting in the feedback section this week.
Oh, yes. Forgot all about Hindsight Corner.
Yeah,
Remember
used
when
to
we
be a
used to
thing.
do that?
It used to be a thing
Used
every
to be
week.
a thing.
When we got things wrong and then we just stopped caring.
Or we stopped getting so many things wrong because we became more familiar with the show. Or I became more familiar with the show.
And we just stopped caring.
I guess. Or you just had too many other things to do.
Yeah, there's only so many buttons.
Right. There's.
And then Timbot 4000 was a thing for a
Oh,
while.
God. Remember Timbot 4000?
Timbot 4000 required a lot of buttons. Remember, I sometimes had conversations with Timbot 4000.
Timbot 4000. I miss Timbot 4000.
Why was it Timbot?
Because we love Tim so much?
No, there was a reason. There was a better reason. Who knows? Maybe
knows?
maybe somebody who's been listening for
Remember when
7 years can remember.
Remember when Tim had a horse?
Vividly.
I miss that horse.
Now, I've got a bit of an apology to make to our correspondent Cheeky, who has sent a voice note in this week. And I was very keen to play a voice note because we like different voices on the podcast.
Yes.
And to open up the possibility for other people to do the same.
Yes.
But we recently got new phones, and my old phone had a lightning connection that I could put into this desk that I've got. I have on order a cable that will plug into the new phone, into the deck, where I will be able to play messages that get sent, voice notes that get sent. So if you do want to send us a voice memo, I think doing it through our Facebook is probably the easiest way of doing it. Or if you can figure it out, I can probably figure it out if I can get it on my phone. So apologies to Cheeky this week. More than welcome to send in actual audio that we can play on the podcast. I think that would be pretty cool. All right, that said, feedback is always welcome. Send us your thoughts and I'll probably read them out. Or play you reading them out. How's about that? Get us at the talk of the street at gmail.com. Or our DMs are open at Corrie Podcast. So we love it when people write actual letters to us. Send us your proper mail to the Talk of the Street, PO Box 12, Eaton Rapids, Michigan 48827. Please note that we reserve the right to edit feedback, but only in the interest of brevity. And if you are going to send something audio, if you can keep it under a minute, that would be brilliant. And
Yes.
now we'll podcast for coffee.
Again?
Friend of the podcast.
You know, it's a hand over the heart, this thing.
Yes, so I don't make any unfortunate hand gestures.
Not in this day and age, Helen. We need to be careful.
In this room where it's just the two of us
I don't know.
with no video camera,
People talk.
people talk.
Welcome to our new friend of the podcast, Chris Horrocks.
Horrocks? I love Horrocks.
I don't think it's the same. It's not the same spelling.
Oh, it's not Horrocks.
How many R's?
R.
No,
So they don't sell us like delicious fresh fruits and like weird gummies and stuff?
I don't think so.
Oh, that's a
Again,
shame.
local knowledge required for this joke, apparently. Chris is doing my job for me. Chris says, spoiler alert, 5th week in a row with a new friend of the podcast.
Woohoo!
5th week in a row. This takes
This
us
week in a row.
to 48 friends of the podcast.
Wow, you got to take a ready and start listing all those names
So-
now. You need to be an auctioneer.
But I don't want to go too quickly because I want to give these friends their moment.
Right, yes, because they're producers of the show now.
Executive producers, that's right.
Yes,
It's a wonderful non-paying position.
it is.
Well,
Just
it's
like
paying,
mine.
but it's paying
It's paying us.
in the other direction.
Right.
I wonder if we can get to 50 friends of the podcast by episode 400.
I think we can do it.
I think we can.
I think we can.
So if there's anybody that's just humming and hawing about, do you know what? All this extra content does sound interesting.
Yes.
Maybe I'll wait until after episode 400 to
No,
sign
don't
up.
do
No,
it.
no, don't do that.
Or just sign up and next week, stop.
Right, you can do that. And your name will probably remain in the executive producer credits for far longer than just a week. Because I'm not changing it.
You're lazy.
Oh, I've got other things
I mean,
to
you're
do.
not because you do a million things, but anyway.
Thank you ever so much to Chris for signing up to be a friend of the podcast.
Yes.
Getting into the spirit of it, I
Yes,
feel.
yes, Chris. And if you do have any interesting gummies at home, send them our way.
The Talk of the Street is and will always be free on your podcast provider and on the YouTubes, but if you think our show is worth anything more than the time it takes to listen to it, not so far this week. And if you want to show your appreciation, or if you want more weekly and monthly content, head over to corriepodcast.com, click on Support the Pod, and then Friend of the Podcast. For $2 a month, you get access to our weekly spoiler show, The Talk of the Street Spoiler Alert, and a monthly classic Corrie show, The Talk of the Street Classics. This month we're talking about episode 2284 from February the 21st, 1983, where Ken throws Deirdre out. And if that wasn't enough, you can also get access to our Discord server, a shout out at the end of every podcast, and your name on the credits on the flagship. If you prefer something a little less formal, you can also buy us next week's coffee by clicking Buy Us a Coffee. Remember, you can always support the podcast for free. Get us in front of new listeners by liking, subscribing, rating and reviewing wherever you get your podcasts. Alright, shall we dive in, my dear?
Yes, please.
A shortened week this week. Just
Yes.
the 3 episodes to talk about. I understand in a couple of weeks' time it will be 7 episodes, but
How will I
we
survive?
take with one hand and we give away with the other.
I'll have to cut into my movie watching and book reading time.
Our first storyline is our last storyline, so our second storyline is Theo No Sleeves.
Boo!
On Monday, Theo is off to take care of his mum again
Again.
because his
just
dad
got
can't
back.
cope or something. So his dad's alive as well.
Yeah. What's wrong with his mom? Do we know what's wrong with her?
Oh, who knows? Hips. Probably hips.
Well, her hips don't lie, so I guess.
His mum is Shakira. But he's just going for the day. So he says to Todd, "Oh no, you don't want to come. You can just stay here. I'll only be gone for the day."
Yeah.
Which makes me think he's not going to see his mum at all.
No, he's going to go bang that guy, the architect guy again.
The architect guy?
Wasn't he an architect? The guy who needed the scaffolding and was going to work with Gary.
Oh, the builder guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He insists that there's no point in Todd going. Todd, though, only has 10 quid that Theo gave him. But Theo thinks this should be more than enough to see him through the day.
I hate this
Come
so
on.
much.
Come on, Todd. Come on. You were so close. You were so close to rebelling
I don't-
against us.
I don't understand how so quickly Todd no longer has access to his own bank account. It doesn't make any sense that they were able to do this all so quickly. Do they not? Are banks really that good in the United Kingdom? And quick?
That quick. Well, I think, didn't he ask for all the details and took the bank card? But that was a credit card that he cut, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It wasn't like a debit card.
right.
And I think you can still go into a bank
And
and
withdraw
prove
money.
who you are.
And withdraw money.
Right.
Yeah.
But who can be bothered doing that? It's much easier just to complain that you've only got £3.50 or whatever.
Obviously not Todd.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's scared because then Theo would see that he withdrew money and will be mean to him.
Right. And at that point, you're thinking, well,
No.
what's the greater evil here?
And just because Billy's dead doesn't mean that his words to you are dead, Todd.
Yeah.
You were ready to leave this man before Billy died. Billy's death should not have made you say, "Oh, well, I guess I'll stay then."
Did Billy die for nothing?
Exactly. That's very true.
Did he, though?
It seems like it.
Sure. So Todd reluctantly agrees to make do with 10 quid. But lunch eats up most of his tenner when George has forgotten to bring his wallet to Nina's rolls. And later George is shocked when one of his widows gifts him an expensive bottle of cognac for doing such a good job burying her husband. He wants to return the bottle because it's far too expensive, but Christina says maybe accepting a lovely gift and writing a thank you note is more appropriate, so that's what George does.
Yes.
I kept expecting this to come back in some way. Hasn't done so
No.
so far.
No. But also, Christina's right. Why would you choose to offend a widow who's bought you this cognac? Oh, no, this is too expensive. You keep it. No, I bought it for you, asshole. You
Right.
keep it.
Right. You asshole.
Seriously. Who returns a gift? What a dick.
I love the names of all of George's widows.
Right, because they're like Marjorie and
They're
stuff.
always just textbook
Old lady.
old lady names. Old English white lady names.
Yes.
It's Maureen Wilkinson, or it's Marjorie Tuppence, or it's
And for some reason, they-
Hilda.
Okay. Well, then I guess they're not all M.
Hilda.
Huff and Puff.
Hilda Huff and Puff, which is a alliteration, so that's an even better name. Joyce Pickles. You know,
Yes.
it's all just really old school white English lady names.
Yes. Never
That-
Scottish old lady names.
Those are the only people that
Yeah.
George buries.
Only English old ladies.
Yeah.
Well, no, not English old ladies. Their husbands.
Yes. Who always die first.
Yes.
You're welcome. So, later, as Todd is preparing for his pot noodle dinner, I don't think it's a pot noodle, I think he was having cereal.
Or hot water.
Trying to have cereal with hot water. He gets a text from Theo saying that he's going to be spending the night at his mum's. And as pointed out by our correspondent Dave, we don't see anything about Todd on Wednesday, but like Glenn, I was half expecting to see a skeletal Todd in the corner of his flat, bony hand holding a empty packet of rice bombs or whatever.
I don't understand
Dusty
how
skeleton.
I don't understand how these people, this is why these people are always complaining about not having enough money. It's because they don't feed themselves. They just go out to eat every single night and every single day, like during the day. Why are you going for lunch at Nina's Rolls when your houses are right there?
Right.
And you can just go home and make yourself a sandwich. Or, make yourself a sandwich in the morning and bring it with you to work across the street from your house.
And how can we get from Monday to Friday and suddenly Todd's flat doesn't have any food in it?
Right. Except
I
for
mean,
some
I'm-
boxes that we don't know what's in.
I mean, I'm assuming that it never had food in it. But in that case, it shouldn't be any surprise when you look in the cupboard or you look in the fridge and there's nothing
Right,
there
yes.
because there's never anything there.
Because all they eat are takeaways and restaurant food, apparently.
My
This
Aunt
is
Kathy in Australia said that in Neighbours, they only ever showed you characters eating at home to prove that Australians knew how to use a knife and fork. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. Aussie Alley.
Oi.
Maybe you can let us know. That's what my Aunt Kathy used to say.
But to me, it's like, we're already not doing great as far as, gay representation is concerned in this show. When we have these two in an abusive relationship and then Sean
Yeah.
being Sean. But now we're saying the gays can't cook. The gays can't, and we know that's not true either because Todd is apparently a very good cook.
Todd's quite accomplished, I think.
Yes. So why wouldn't he have food in the house for like a whole week?
Or just enough food to get him through the day.
Right.
Because remember, he's eating cornflakes the day that he's got the tenner.
Right.
So he's run out of food super quick.
Like immediately. Like they didn't go and get their groceries in before Theo left. You'd think that they would do that. Because it was like kind of the weekend, right? We get our shopping on Friday. And then we're good for like a week. We don't have to go and get other ingredients. You do anyway, which is kind of annoying, but that's fine. But like I plan the meals that I'm going to make beforehand and make sure that they're on the list so that when you contact the Instacart lady, we get everything we need for a week. Why can't Todd and Theo do that? These are supposedly intelligent men, yes?
I think so. I think maybe intelligent is stretching it just a little bit, but I don't think they're idiots.
No. So, where is the food?
It's very confusing.
Is there no Instacart on Coronation Street?
Well, you need to pay them, and if he's only got £3.50 and doesn't have access to his bank cards, then there's nothing much you can do.
Right, but you would say, but when you get Instacart, you like automatically have like your card uploaded and everything. Or maybe like,
Oh, are we in danger of overthinking this just a little bit?
does Todd not have PayPal or Venmo?
Maybe he doesn't. On
Maybe he
Friday,
doesn't.
Todd survived on $3.50 since Monday, so when Summer goes to get breakfast, she finds the cupboards bare. Todd is sheepish, but Summer don't give a fuck and says that she'll go and get a shop done. Todd's like, really? And Summer kind of shrugs like, sure, why wouldn't I?
Why not?
Todd calls Theo and leaves a message describing his fiscal woes. Later, Todd sees David and Shona being all lovey-dovey and seems to have a moment of clarity, but then it's off to Nina's Rolls where he manages to purloin a couple of small coffees on tick from Bernie. But while he and Summer are waiting, they hear Bernie and Glenda chat about the sentence that Debbie got and how it was pretty harsh. Summer can't believe her ears and fucking loses it at them. Debbie killed Billy, let's remember, she says. Well, no,
she didn't.
Shame on all of you, says Summer, especially you, Bernie. She rushes out. Todd gives chase, but runs into Sarah, who has news of Harry's sponsored walk, and apparently Todd owes her a tenner. Todd snaps at her to fuck off and tells her that she'll get her fucking money, and Sarah's left thinking, well, I never.
Yeah, and we talked about this in spoiler alert, this thing, but it kind of feels like when you're watching it that it's not really about Sarah saying, hey, Harry's fundraiser is over and you owe a tenner. It's that Todd was in motion to try and catch up with Summer and soothe and support Summer. And Sarah has interrupted him in his ability to do this. And she knows he's in a rush because she saw Summer bolt out. And then she saw Todd bolt out and knock coffees out of David's hands or something.
Nearly, yep.
And get coffee all over David.
Nearly.
Who has like second-degree burns now.
Nearly.
So you'd think that she would know that this is not the time to talk about this, and let him go and catch his grieving daughter and try to make her life better. Sarah, read the room.
There's also, just because Todd's in fiscal trouble at the moment, everyone, George doesn't have his wallet, Sarah wants a tenner, but it's like everything is now suddenly costing money that Todd doesn't have, that probably wouldn't be a thing if he was flush.
Yeah.
So it's like everything just lines up to take more money from him.
It's possible to like not go and buy coffee for yourself every day of the week so that 10 pounds goes like immediately, especially if you have food in your house. So maybe get food in your house and then you don't have to spend money all
Maybe
week.
this is the problem, is that this has all been kind of thrust on Todd very quickly, and he hasn't had time to plan for it or to make the proper arrangements that would have plenty of bread and plenty of cold meat and
Soup.
Things that are going to help him in this sort of crisis when he apparently doesn't have access to his own money.
Right. Which again seems weird.
But if you have a storyline where Theo decides that, no, I'm going to be in charge of your
all the money,
and everything continues to work perfectly well, that's not really much of a story.
No.
And probably a fairly poor message.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's a poor message anyway. Let's be honest.
It's not great.
It's not great at all. But it should be more realistic, shouldn't it? Like, it becomes almost farce when Summer opens the refrigerator and it's just bottles of water.
Yeah, it's like bats flying out of it.
Right, yeah. It's like, this is not a sitcom. This is supposed to be a very serious story about coercive control and financial abuse.
I did like the camera in the fridge. That was a nice little unexpected shot.
It should have been in the cupboard as well, and then we could have known what was actually in those boxes.
See, I didn't think it was cereal. I don't think
But it wasn't.
it was, because she said that I'll need to eat the cereal dry or something like
And
that.
then she
didn't
opens the cupboard, and there's no cereal.
Yeah. I'm not sure there was the need to see both things being empty, but never mind.
Again, it makes it seem like they're trying to make this funny.
No, I don't think it was meant to be funny. I think we're meant to feel the kind of anxiety that Todd's feeling in this situation.
Right. But
I don't think any of this was getting played for laughs.
yeah, but like what I said, when you push it to extremes like this, like, oh, they only have bottled water in the fridge, and that's not realistic for a human adult, it makes it seem like a farce and not a dramatic storyline.
All right, well, we will move on to our next storyline, which is Sister from the Same Mister. Only got a few notes about this. On Monday, in Nina's role, Shona's on the phone trying to track down someone who knows her dad or who knows a Bernard Bennett, his best mate. Another alliteration.
Yes, another Bernie.
She gets a number for Bernard, or Bernard, who is apparently not available until after 6, and this is important.
Yes.
Because Jodie overhears this, and later, even though it's not after 6, I don't think, she gives Bernard a call
it's like less than an hour.
and asks for a favour. This means that when Shona calls later and speaks to Bernard. He claims to no longer be in touch with her dad, which Shona tells David is weird because the two of them were thick as thieves. Then on Friday, Jodie is up and out early doors, and when Shona quizzes her what she's up to, she says she's just gone out and she'll be back later. David thinks this is mysterious. Talking of mystery, says Shona, she explains that she has a new lead on finding her dad, but David thinks that maybe they should be focusing their efforts on Harper.
Yeah,
and
you
not
know
some
what's
fucking
mysterious?
loser.
You know what's mysterious? How both of these people are constantly in their own homes and neither one of them are in the hospital with their newborn who is a giant tumor on her neck.
Oh, they're always in transit.
Supposedly.
Because
We
Shona
never
was
see her
there all
there.
night. Well, I'm glad that we don't see them there. Because it's boring.
It's
So Shona's there at night. David was going to go during the day. Turns out Bethany was there. She didn't have anything on, which I presume means that her calendar was empty.
And also, Shona just had a C-section. And she's not acting like she just had a C-section.
No, well, she wasn't doing that last week, so we shouldn't expect her to be doing that this week.
No, but it's something that I'm still
She can't go,
complaining about.
oh God, I've just suddenly remembered
She just
had huge abdominal trauma in the last...
Yes, she's
few
had
weeks.
all of her insides lifted out so they could get to the baby, and then her insides put back in
Mm-hmm.
after they get the baby out, and then sewn back up.
Enjoy your dinner.
No, I don't know. It irks me, this whole storyline happening when the storyline should be this baby. I guess is my problem. Is that there's all this drama with the sick, possibly cancerous baby. And no, we have to add to it with mysterious sister and even more mysterious father.
I'm glad for the little break from the baby trauma. Because I think I can live without it. And I think there's not much that's going to happen day to day to make it any more interesting than just people staring at a baby. So I think I'm okay with them having people in transit and we see them in the house and then they're nipping away and they're rushing about. And I think I'm getting the sense that they're tired and this is already starting to weigh on them and they're sort of sniping at each other a little bit. And Bethany helping out by
Going to stare at the baby.
Sitting there for an unspecified period of time. I think when they did it a couple of weeks ago, they had them talking about this while they're at the hospital.
Right.
But I don't think I'm at the point where I can complain that we're not seeing enough of the hospital.
I'm just thinking about the last baby we had, which was Frankie, and how often we were in the hospital with Frankie. Like a lot.
Yeah, too often.
A lot. And yes, a lot of that was because the drama with Frankie was Joel and Lauren. And a lot of that would happen there with Frankie because Joel is trying to terrorize and manipulate Lauren about Frankie. But still, it feels like, and don't get me wrong, I like the Jodie storyline. It just feels like it's all too much loaded on one family. And it feels like it's doing a disservice to both storylines by having both of these things happening to the Platts.
Did
at
we
the
say the
time.
same thing about the Websters?
Yes.
We
did.
several times.
We did. And we said the same thing when it was at the Platts before, when it was not really the Platts, it was Nick and Leanne and Toya just constantly getting barraged. And remember when it was Summer getting constantly barraged. And then I'm sure the Allahans have been barraged a couple of times as well.
Well, Asha wasn't looking for any more drama in her life, I don't think.
And then it just kept finding her. So
Anyway.
spread it out. That's all I'm saying.
So later, Jodie comes home to an empty house, and wherever she's been, she's back with her trinket box. And in that box,
Trigger box of the week.
she's got a flash drive. I was thinking, is that Debbie's trinket box that she's got?
No, it's a different
It's
one.
a different one. She's got a flash drive that she quickly hides when the rest of the Platts come in. It's nice to see a bit of flash drive action. It's been so
Flash
long.
drive of the week. No,
Yes.
yes, it's been since Becky got the CCTV footage on a flash drive and gave it to Lisa a month ago. Or 2 months ago. Flash drive of the month.
That'll do. I don't know if that's going to take off or not, but we can try.
I mean, we haven't had a good necklace of the week in ages.
We
Or
haven't.
head wound.
I
Where
feel like we've
are
had headwinds.
headwinds?
We've had headwinds recently.
Oh, yes. Well, Corrie Dales. But how do you pick only one head wound of the week?
It's a trial of being a Corrie podcaster. That
Yeah.
These are the tough decisions
I mean,
that we've got to
obviously,
make.
you'd have to go with Billy, but that's not really head wound of the
No.
week. That's like exploded head of the week.
Yeah. And that's a different award. Yes. I wonder what's on the flash drive, Helen.
Exploded heads of Billy.
Oh. And where did this flash drive come from?
A trinket box.
I feel like we're getting to the point where we need to start making some headway into this mystery. There's just a little bit too much. No, Helen's making some faces at me, which suggests there's something coming up in the spoiler alert show, available shortly after this one to friends of the podcast.
Yes.
So maybe I'll just shut up about that just now. But no, it feels like we need to be getting some answers. All we've been doing since Jodie came into the show is we're asking questions, and there's mystery, and there's question marks, and there's dubious behaviour. So we need to start making some headway into that, I feel. I still quite like this. I still quite like Jodie and the way that she came into it. I feel like I just want something to pin all that on now. Well, she was in the van. Why was she in the van? Was she running away from someone, or was someone dragging her somewhere that she didn't want to go? Or,
Right.
you know, there's so many questions about this that we need to get at least some kind of clues about it.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's just going to become annoying.
Yes.
And it feels like David in particular is starting to get a little bit bored with this shit.
David, rightly so, is like, hey, remember we have a baby with a giant tumor on its neck in the hospital? Maybe focus on that instead of trying to find your deadbeat father.
Yep.
So David is me.
It seems like a fair enough thing to point out. And sure enough, when he does point it out to her, she does seem to take it well. Or she does seem to agree with him. Or is she just agreeing with him just to get him to shut up?
When Shona wants David to shut up, she's not really subtle about it.
No. But she's also not the sort of person that say, you know what, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, it's true.
The door was squeaking again.
It was.
It wasn't squeaking last week, but it was squeaking a little bit today. A little bit on Monday, I think. I do like it when that door squeaks. All right, our penultimate storyline of the night.
Wow, we're just running through
don't get
this.
too excited. The last storyline goes on forever.
Well, yes, that's true.
Bernied out of her Bernies. On Monday, Nina Rolls, Bernie and Dev have made up, and she suggests that they meet up later in the pub for date night. They're interrupted though when Roy introduces them to Mal, the electrician. Mal is good to his word from last week and pretends not to know Bernie. And later though, Bernie tries to get Roy to switch to one of her electrician mates who would no doubt be cheaper. But Roy explains that there's more to Mal's employment than just cost. He feels responsible for Mal breaking up with Alice, his wife. So Bernie has to back down from that.
I have to say, this breakup between Mal and Alice happened quite quickly, didn't it? And off scene.
I'm not sure I believe it. I mean, you were very quick to suggest that this wasn't catfishing, and maybe it isn't catfishing, but I think there's a bit more to Mal than meets the eye here.
Yeah, and I'm confused as to what it could possibly be. Is it like some sort of prison thing? Because God knows we don't have enough prison stuff going on in the show.
That is true. We do need some more prison stuff.
Perhaps including members of the show watching the beloved American sitcom How I Met Your Mother.
Just limiting that, though, to season 1.
Yes,
It's a little crispy around the edges, though.
it's true.
Yeah, there's something about this Mal.
Right, and I mean, they did
I'm
name
not saying that I dislike him, by the way.
his name is Mal, so it means bad,
In French,
and Spanish.
probably other languages.
Right. And how we get the English word malice and malcontent and
And we've pointed
maleficent
out that Malice,
is Mal and Alice. Yeah.
the show's mentioned this as well, like it's
Have they?
yeah.
In the show? I don't
I think
remember.
Nina said something about Malice.
Nina would.
Neither was.
The show sometimes remembers that she's supposed to be a goth.
Yes.
She's become quite snarky too. It's
She was so snarky to Debbie behind her back.
Yeah.
But then when she saw Debbie, she was the opposite. I
Yeah.
don't like that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the same person who's writing Lauren now is writing Nina.
Oh, God. What the fuck is going on with Lauren?
Yeah.
I do not approve of this.
No, they need to cut it out because they finally made us like her, and now they're trying very hard for us to dislike her again.
She's like,
What the fuck?
they're trying to make her Carla from Cheers. Just this horrid, sarcastic
Only without
barmaid.
Rhea Perlman's timing.
Or curly hair.
Yes. Or
She should
apron.
definitely get a perm. She should definitely do that. It's like, what the fuck is happening to Lauren? We were kind of liking her. We thought
Yeah.
the Rovers was a great place to put her.
Right, yeah.
And now she's like
She was
too busy painting her
smiling.
nails and
She was smiling and she was happy and she was getting along with the other bar people and she was making conversation. She was great. And now all of a sudden, she's unbearable again.
she's refusing to serve people and
Painting her nails at the counter. Yeah.
We're just
Stop
about-
it. Stop it, show.
we're just about to talk about this.
Yes.
In the pub later, after some frankly baffling interactions with Lauren, Mal appears and offers to buy Bernie and Dev a drink.
Bernie reintroduces herself as Bernadine. That's when you know she means business.
And there's a little bit of fun because Dev feels bad about not taking a drink off Mal, and Bernie's like, well, do you want him to join us on date night then? And he's like, no, well, shut the fuck up then.
Right, yeah. Why are you trying to be so nice to this man who typically, Dev, you of all people, would be looking down your nose at as a service person when you are a man who owns businesses and likes to golf?
A man of means. So when Dev nips off for a shite, because rich people have to shite too, Helen,
It's true.
Bernie tells Mal to keep his distance. He insists that when the job is done at the cafe, he's off-ski, and she appreciates that. But when her back is turned, he does a 2-second smile fade. And that's how you know he's up to something. On Friday, Bernie has run ragged at Nina's rolls, and Christina is being a peculiar nuisance about getting her hands on a greasy sausage.
That's our Christina.
Mal hears her curse and offers to help, and although reluctant, Bernie finally agrees, and it turns out Mal's a dab hand in the fryer. Later, after the rushes die down, Christina and Sally like the look of Mal and start ripping the piss out of Bernie, thinking that she does too. So she quickly dismisses him from duty, telling him that his services and his greasy sausage are no longer needed. And that's as far as we get with that this week.
Yes. It's so...
It's a tricky situation for Bernie, but I think her reaction is making it trickier,
Yes.
maybe.
She's making it worse.
And nothing happened.
Correct. But
Is
you know
she
what, Jeff?
ashamed of the drugs? Is that what it is? Because they're making a big deal of it. Because I have to say,
She took a pill.
when I watched her and I watched them taking the pill and drinking and dancing and stuff,
Right.
at no point did I think, oh, that's Bernie taking drugs. It
No.
just seemed so
like
natural for
A
what happened.
pill. A pill. It's like if she ate like the head off a weed gummy bear. I'd be like, oh, she hadn't done that recently, but I guess it's fine because it's not like she's shooting up heroin.
Right.
You
Like
know?
the vicar.
It's a pill. And we don't even know what the pill was. Maybe it was for her cholesterol.
Well, she said that the guy in the dog and gun had sold her it, and maybe it was a trank instead, because rather than getting them up, it seemed to be getting them down.
Right. So, I mean, it could have just been
So
Adderall.
it actually could have been anything.
It really
It could have
could
been a sleeping pill.
Yeah, it could have been melatonin.
But then anyone who heard about this, like Gemma, was shocked. Maybe you would be shocked if your mum was taking drugs, but
Right.
when your mum's Bernie, maybe you're kind of used to that.
Right. And she took a pill and she didn't know what it was. And the guy at the dog and pony show or whatever it was.
The dog and gun.
Yes, same thing. Hey, he probably didn't even know. He probably just, like I said, fished out a cholesterol pill out of the bottom of his jeans and just handed it over. It could be anything. And it obviously isn't something that, like, really wrecked her.
No.
And it's not like the next morning she's like, oh, time to go get some more drugs and alcohol. I need to be drugged up and drunk for the rest of my life. That didn't happen. It's fine.
Right. I was thinking about Mal and the Inverness thing just being so weird.
That was weird. Inverness.
And the fact that we've never seen Alice, we've never heard Alice, we don't know that Alice exists. We don't really know that he's anything to do with Alice. All we know is that he was replying to Roy's texts with the phone that
With
Roy
Alice's
presumed was Alice's phone,
Right.
her phone number. Very rarely is it just as simple as that.
Yeah. I hope they don't overcomplicate it, though, because the last time they tried to overcomplicate things, Becky coming back from the dead, it got to a point where they'd kind of written themselves into a corner, and then the ending was a damp squib. And we're never going to know the truth about this gang or where this money came from or stuff. It's just over. So it feels like they need to stop trying to, like, overcomplicate things and putting too many things in things.
Yeah, and this started from a Roy's new relationship storyline.
It started from Roy doing a nice thing writing prisoners in prison as a pen pal because he knows how horrible it is to be in prison and alone. And then one of the prisoners gave his mom Roy's address. That the Little Free Library, is the Little Free Library even still there? On that shelf in the back?
I haven't been looking.
No, me neither. But now that I think about it, I don't think it's there anymore, which would be terrible.
It would be.
Wait,
Such a shame.
Remember that whole thing was a suggestion of Alice. That doesn't feel like something that would be suggested by a dude with bad intentions. Or any intentions.
Right. Maybe there is an Alice then, in Inverness. Living up single now. She's a single lady?
She's a single lady.
Alright, our last outline this week then is Sucks to be a Webster.
It really does.
On Monday, Jack is getting ready for school, but the fridge is out of milk and the cereal box is
Nobody
out of
has-
rice bombs because he's suddenly living at Todd's.
No, because at least Todd's house isn't messy.
So,
Nobody has milk on the street. What happened to all the cows?
so it's a packet of crisps for breakfast then. Kev's left empty beer cans scattered about the place.
Lovely.
Meanwhile, at Rape Hotel, Ryan has been working 24-hour shifts, it seems, because he was there in the middle of the night with Bernie last week. And then he was part of the armed robbery stuff. This man is working himself ragged.
No wonder Debbie wants him to take over.
Right. He's been working 24-hour shifts, and Debbie rewards this by asking him to look after the hotel if she gets sent down. He wonders about Carl, but she says that she'll handle that. And she handles it by getting Ronnie to handle it, which he does
Hilarious.
off-screen, and apparently Carl
Poorly.
hasn't taken it well. So that'll need to wait, because Kev has been coaxed to the hotel with the promise of a free lunch, but instead Sally, Tim, Tyrone and Abby have gathered to perform an intervention.
This is not how you would perform an intervention.
No, and Kev's not the sort of person that's going to respond well to this.
No. You don't perform an intervention in the middle of a busy
A
restaurant.
public restaurant.
Let's talk about your deep-seated feelings and problems.
But you'll have to wait because I'm checking out the wine list.
Right, yeah.
Kev tells them to suck on his balls, but is eventually encouraged by Debbie to hear them out. He has his arms folded the entire time, doesn't listen, and is quick to criticise those who criticise him. And then Carl appears. What do you want? Says Kev. Carl's shouting the odds about Debbie stabbing him in the back, and this is finally enough to put a smile on Kev's face.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Abby apologises for what she did, but he says, look, you're a junkie, you got pregnant off another man, and then you cheated on me with my brother, so this is all par for the course. And he's had enough of this pish. Am I the only one trying to keep this family together? Shouts Debbie. Don't bother, it's not worth it, says Kev on his way, on his way out.
Yep. This
I-
isn't.
I'll-
I don't even want that free lunch anymore.
I really enjoyed this. Later, Jack comes home with Abby and announces that the place is a tip, there's no food, and contrary to Kev's beliefs, everything is not fine and dandy, and he never knows when Kev's going to kick off. I don't kick off, you wee prick, says Kev. So Jack's off to live with Abby for a bit. Kev invites them both to go fuck themselves. Abby scowls at him for the way that he's talking to Jack. On his own, and in the dark later, Kev loves a bit of a sit in the dark, doesn't he?
He does.
He ignores a text from Jack telling him that he loves him.
Aw.
At Debbie's, Carl has calmed, but he wants to know why she chose Ryan over him. She explains that she can't really rely on him hanging around if she goes to jail. She says none of this is easy for her, and she's scared of losing her mind when she's in prison and not being able to remember who he is. And I thought, this is the moment that she's going to tell him. But then the episode ended. On Wednesday, Brian goes to the garage to talk to Kev about getting a new clutch. But Kev cannot be fucked with this. He's more concerned with a hole in the garage roof, which Brian suggests that he gets fixed. So Kev goes off to do it himself and ends up on the roof that's littered with beer cans and other shite that Kev blames on flaming kids, and he chucks them down to the ground and at Brian. Brian is not happy about this.
What about my clutch?
And Brian can do a incredible whistle. You know, like a kind of sheepdog whistle. But super loud.
It's the forehead. It's like whales.
Sure. It's so impressive. Brian is a man of many talents.
And what is... Name a funnier piece of a car to complain about than the clutch.
The big end. My big end's gone. Yeah, that's funnier than clutch. Clutch is funny though.
Yeah. Say clutch over and over again. You can't. It's too funny.
Yeah. A nice punchy one syllable thing.
That also could be like a part of someone's
Sounds a bit
genitalia.
Sounds like crotch.
Or clit.
Oh. Poor Brian, is there something you're not telling us? I saw some comments in this saying, what the fuck is the point of Brian? This is the point of Brian.
That and like throwing up all over a
No,
whole bunch of...
not that. Not that. Remember, that's the lowest that Coronation Street's gone in living memory. As a hoisted Brian swinging over the school governor's projectile vomiting over all of
It's
them.
like a 1990s teen sex comedy, isn't it? Brian throwing up while swinging in the air.
It's not a teen sex comedy I'm in a hurry to see, I have to say. But Brian in this he's superb. He's annoying. He's annoying Kev, and he doesn't realise how much he's annoying Kev. But
Right.
Kev is super annoyed by this.
He is.
But when things start to rain down on him, and he rushes off to the factory,
It's hilarious.
that's just superb. So Brian shouts that he wants his clutch fixed. Go fuck yourself, says Kev. So Sally and Tim come along, and they have no luck in talking him down from the roof either.
Yeah, of course, Tim's way of trying to talk him off the roof is shouting, "Hey, dumbass, get off the fucking roof."
And then Sally says, I think you could be a little bit softer than that. And I thought, I wanted Tim just to say, please.
Hey, dumbass, get off the fucking roof.
No, just have Tim say please. That would have been better. Also a bit where Kev's talking about how much of a failure he is. And Brian's like, you're not a failure. You're the owner of a moderately successful business. Just a moderately. Superb. So, he's walling in self-pity. He says that everyone hates him, and he can't blame them. Even Jack doesn't want to live with him. That's how low he's sunk. Abby's next to give it a try, talking him down, has no luck. So she takes the bull by the horns and goes up to join him, and successfully manages to hit Brian's enormous head with an empty beer can. So at least that's something.
That was hilarious.
They sit on the roof and chat honestly and calmly about the past, how Abby's sorry for what happened. Kev says he would have taken her back, but Carl wasn't the problem in the marriage, says Abby. It was her. Was it?
No.
I don't think it was either.
No, sweetheart, it wasn't you.
He says he idolised her, which would be why
Which
he
is the
continually
problem.
called her a junkie,
Right.
and thinks that she only loved him back because he rescued her. She thinks the safety was
Probably.
important, but she says that she was seen with Kev, and insists that she genuinely loved him. Imran was a low that she blames on Seb's death, and in truth she says she never got over that, and was so hurt that she didn't have any room for love. None of this was your fault, she says. And it's like all of this, he was just waiting for her to say something like that, because as soon as he says it, he kind of starts to lighten up a bit. She says that she loves him, but not in the same way, and they are never, never, never getting back together.
Woo! Yeah!
He can't change what happened, but he can change how he deals with it. He promises to give himself a shake for Jack and Debbie, and the two of them leave the roof before they get piles. He offers her job back, and she bites his hand off. And even Jack, who Debbie had spoken to Nina's roles earlier, telling him that Kev needs his support, even he comes home. Oh. Kev says, "You're more mature than me." And everyone says,
yeah, no shit.
Yep. Clutches their collar a little bit. While this is all going on, Debbie's cleaning the flat. Much to Ronnie's concern, he thinks this is not how she should be using the hours before she gets sentenced. Debbie calls him Ray when she tells him to stop fretting. And although she quickly corrects herself, it's obvious that the two of them are kind of shaken by this. I was wondering if Ray was Ray Weinstein. If that's...
They were friends.
They were in cahoots.
Yeah.
They were going to tear Coronation Street down.
Yeah. There may have been something else going on.
There may well have been. In Nina's roles, Ronnie explains this to Carl and says that he really worries about what prison's going to take from Debbie because there's getting less every day to take. Carl suddenly grows a conscience and announces that this has gone too far and he's going to fix it, and he rushes off before Ronnie can find out what he's talking about. So Ronnie goes back home and tells Debbie this, wondering if Kev was right all along and Carl was the one who's driving. Debbie doesn't answer and goes off to speak to Carl. Carl's about to drive off when she calls on him. He tells her that she wasn't driving and explains all the underhanded things that he did during Corrie deals to put the blame on her, like moving her into this driver's seat and all that sort of stuff.
And she says, yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
But he's going to the cops and he's going to confess. She tells him that she knew all this already and tells him that she wants to take the blame for him. Why on earth would you want to do that? He asks. Because I'm your mum, she says. And I'm not sure if he's surprised enough at this.
Well, we don't get to see his reaction.
Just generally.
We don't get to see his reaction because it's a commercial break. And then when we get back from commercial break, they're up in the flat and he's holding the little baby bracelet. Mm-hmm. So we don't get to see his shock and confusion. And this can't possibly be true. Because we see him get told and then we see him holding the proof.
Yeah,
it's weird.
This is kind of the moment that you want to see.
Right, yeah, we lose something here.
So they go back to the flat, and she explains about getting knocked up by some lad when she was 17, someone that she's never seen since. I wonder if I believe that. Her dad and Elaine were ashamed by this, and Elaine wanted her to get a termination. She thought about putting Carol up for adoption, but couldn't bear the idea of never seeing him again. In the end, Bill and Elaine talked her into letting them raise the baby as their own. They were in Southampton at the time, so Kev never knew. And then they moved to Germany. At least you were loved, she says.
Wait. He was born in Germany.
Yeah, so they moved before she was born. He was born.
Okay, all right, yeah.
At least you were loved, she says. But Carl has different memories of this and describes a terrible relationship with Elaine. And he always wondered why she never loved him and what he did wrong. And he says it's made him the man that he is now, i.e. a total shit. I don't think I believe that.
No, it's weird because even if she wasn't his mother, she would have been his grandmother by marriage, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Because that wasn't Debbie's mom. That was Debbie's stepmom. But still, you would think she would have loved that child, you would think, because he's still family. It's not like Debbie left Carl on her doorstep and she felt forced.
Right.
You know.
But I think the insinuation is that Elaine felt resentful towards Carl.
Right.
For all these years.
Right.
And never said anything to him about it. This has required an awful lot of people. Not a huge amount of people, but at least 3.
To never say anything.
To anybody.
Right. Including Kev.
Yeah.
It feels weird that Kev was kept out of this loop.
I'm not entirely sure that it works.
Yeah.
And I wonder how many conversations that have happened in the past and mentions of Bill, because Bill came back. I wonder if there's anything in there that would flatly contradict plenty of stuff that's happened, or plenty of stuff that we're saying now happened.
Right.
It wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't be the first time that
No, it
Coronation Street retconned shit to make a baby.
Right. God, and even that was just such a strange thing to do for Toya.
Right, yeah. And now we never speak of this again.
Never speak of it.
Never speak of it again.
It was... We needed Toya to have a dead baby for her to get in bed with Nick. Was that what it was?
Something like that. And also she had ovarian cancer at the same time. Remember? And all this after all of these storylines where she can't get pregnant and could never get pregnant.
And it never came up.
And it never came up.
Anyway, back to this. So Elaine wasn't even his mum, and she resented having to share Bill with a kid who wasn't hers. And now Carl thinks that this is why Debbie never told him about Elaine dying, so that she wouldn't make any deathbed confessions to him. Debbie says yes, but then insists not. But Carl's heard enough of this. He calls her a lying bitch, didn't like that, and tells her that she can get sent down for all he cares, and he won't be visiting her either, so there. So this was Wednesday, and Wednesday was really the tale of two conversations. It was a conversation between Kev and Abby on the roof, and it was a conversation between Carl and Debbie at the flat. And I thought Wednesday was excellent. I thought both stories were really well done.
Yeah.
I enjoyed them a lot. I mean, as we're talking about it, I'm thinking, do you know what? I really did want to see Carol's initial reaction to that, and I think we do lose something from not seeing it, but I thought the performances from Sue Devaney and Jonathan Howard were just really, really great. And actually,
Her especially.
yeah,
Because, like, there's one point where she's just, where, like, he has, you know, said something really angry about all of this, and she just breaks, and she's like, I was 17. And it's like, oof.
Yep.
That is, you know, you can feel the decades of holding on to this secret just falling off of her, and just this kind of visceral, you know, feeling of being that scared 17-year-old again.
yeah, his was obviously from a different place, being angry, and the way that he's angry is he's kind of laughing at her.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Right, as something to watch happening, right? But I still, I
But the
think
acting was
it
good.
was like really, really first class, because
Yeah.
it was totally believable. Yeah, I thought they both did a great job, and you know, fair fucks to Michael Lavelle and Sally Carmen, the teen, on the roof. I thought the two of them were great together as
Yeah.
well. And you were just so thrilled that they're not getting back together.
Oh my God, it's such a weight off my shoulders.
On Friday then, Debbie saying her goodbyes to Raphael while Ronnie waits patiently at
That
the
was
rape
kind
hotel.
of sweet. She gave Raphael a wee hug.
He expected Carol to show up, but there's no sign of him. Isn't that weird? And then Ryan appears with an envelope with Carol's handwriting on it and the keys to the flat. Debbie rushes off to Neil Rolls where she finds him, and she makes another attempt at an apology, but he's in no better mood to listen to it. And when she asks him to be at the court today for her, he tells her to go fuck herself. So, at the court, the judge is in a prickly mood, and despite all the mitigating circumstances that he lists and all that information, he sends Debbie down for 4 years, which is reduced to 2 years and 8 months, seeing as she pled guilty.
Yeah, and this is 100% ridiculous. It's like, oh, well, you don't have anything on your record. You've never done this before. You know, there's no record of you drunk driving ever before in your years of driving. And you have this debilitating disease, and you pled guilty. But even besides all that, this is such a serious crime, which isn't actually a serious crime, because if we look at the tapes, you're not responsible for this man's death.
Okay, we can't take that into consideration. As far as the court's concerned, she is guilty of doing this.
Yeah, but all things considered, this feels Like, he's not really taking any of those things into consideration.
I don't know that you can be responsible for someone's death, which is what the court believes, and not give her some jail time. Can you get away with that?
4 years, though, even with
4
2
years does seem like pretty harsh.
Yeah. And again, this is her first offense. And it's not like premeditated murder. It's vehicular.
Well, I don't think anyone's saying that she murdered him.
Right. It's vehicular manslaughter, isn't it? Or irresponsible driving.
I think it's dangerous driving and driving whilst under the influence and causing death while driving, probably.
Right. Yeah.
Something along those lines.
Right. It feels extreme. I don't care what Summer says. And also, Debbie didn't kill Billy,
Right.
even if she had been driving.
So she gets the third off because she's pled guilty, and she'll probably serve half of that. So 18 months-ish. Debbie's led away, saying that she loves him, and then she's bemoaning the fact that she doesn't have her makeup.
Right. And she's like, wait, I don't get to say goodbye. And that was heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's not the airport. This is a court of law. And this is a judge who has sent down Max twice.
Is it the same judge who sent Max down twice?
He sent Max down for 8 months for doing all the racisms. And then I thought he sent Max down for 6.5 years for killing Joel, but according to people who know better on Twitter, it was for burning the Platt house down.
Burning down the house. So,
I don't know. Max was just doing so much bad shit round about that point.
right.
I can't remember, obviously.
How did anybody get charged and sent down for killing Joel? Or was or did he get off
I think
because
they got
of
off. Yeah.
self-defense?
Yeah, and didn't Lauren take responsibility for it eventually?
I can't
I
remember.
can't remember.
Who sent Sally down? It's not the same judge
No.
as Sally.
No.
Remember when Sally got sent down?
This was also the judge who didn't send Jenny to jail for knocking over Liz,
Oh, that's good.
because Liz didn't show up for she was sitting on a plane from the 1980s at that point.
Right, yes. What about Yasmin? Who sent Yasmin down? Is it the same
I
judge?
don't know. I didn't do any research on other judges. I just looked at this judge, and even that I got wrong. So, anyway,
He's a terrible judge.
at the prison, she's left in her cell, and immediately she takes a turn, screaming that she can't see.
Is she in her silk pajamas?
No, she was wearing the blouse that she was wearing underneath that white jacket.
Okay. It looked like she was in jammies.
No.
It's like, why is she in jammies?
Still that kind of prison.
Wait, why is she not in like prison sweatpants and sweatshirt?
Oh, I don't think they've got that. They've not measured her up for that yet.
Small.
Yep. Very small. Meanwhile, Ronnie and Kev are having a go at Carl on the street, who claims that Debbie wasn't there for him, so why should he be there for her?
And they're like,
To which
wait a
Ryan's
second.
like, she gave you a job, she gave you a place to live, she gave you money. What the fuck are you
what
talking
are you
about?
talking about, Willis?
And at this, Ronnie gets a call from the prison letting them know that Debbie's had another TIA and she's in hospital. And finally, Carl looks a little concerned. Of course, they can't go visit just willy-nilly, so they wait in the pub. Kev tries to make peace with Carl for their sister's sake. Oh, sister, is it? Says Carl.
And then storms off.
And off he storms. Everyone is telling Carl that she's his sister
Right.
in this episode.
Yay.
At the hospital, Debbie comes round as a nice nurse offers to get her a tea. When Debbie tries to move, she's handcuffed very loosely to the bed while a prison guard keeps watch.
Yes.
And that's how we end this week's episodes.
Yes. And she's terrified
Yeah.
and crying. And it seems like she doesn't know where she is or what's going on.
Yeah, when the nurse says, you know you're in the hospital, right? And this is the best place for you. And she nods.
But she nods in a way that's kind of
Yeah, she's not quite there.
right. Oh, it's heartbreaking.
Now, nobody wanted this, right?
No.
Nobody wanted Debbie with all this to be in jail.
Right.
Like we didn't want Roy to go to jail, even though the evidence was all pointing to him being
Right.
guilty.
Yes.
And-
yes. Even though they had no body and no real evidence that it was Roy.
He was cleaning the scene, and there were behaviours that Roy was exhibiting that made him very suspicious about this.
Circumstantial evidence.
Still. Yeah, this feels even worse because Debbie is so vulnerable.
And we love her so
And
much.
clearly this is making it so much worse for her.
Yeah.
I thought what we were going to see when she is in her cell is that she's sharing a cell
With Lou.
with Lou.
It's like, where's Lou?
And that would have been great.
It would have been great.
So who's
to
this
just pan over
Kelly
and there's
that's-
Lou.
right making some amusing video for Instagram in the corner about what it's like to come home from Australia or whatever.
Or how to deal with friends who participated in Dry January.
Yeah. Sadly, we didn't get any of that. We got some slightly depressing stuff with
Right. Where
Debbie.
where Debbie can't see and then she's pounding on the door because she can't see. And then she's chained to a hospital bed.
And I knew that that's where they were going, that this is what we're going to see. We're going to see the handcuff,
Right.
which she's so small. I'm sure her hand could just have slipped out of that.
It's also ridiculous because, yes, this woman's going to get up and run out the door.
Right.
Really? Mm-hmm. Having the policewoman there kind of feels like enough.
I don't want it, but here we are, and I'm just full of empathy for Debbie now.
Yeah.
They're going to appeal, they said,
Yes.
which I'm presuming is going to be successful, but it's going to take
Eventually.
it's going to take some time to get.
Especially with the TIA, this feels like this is not something that the prison wants to deal with.
Yeah, and Debbie's not going to be in prison for 18 months
this
or so.
This woman with dementia.
She's going to be in there long enough to hook up with Lou
Right.
and this woman from Emmerdale,
Right.
and maybe, I don't know, do some kind of song and dance number or whatever.
Right. Yeah. She's gonna redecorate. She's gonna get a prison choir together. She's gonna accidentally tint everybody's sweatpants pink. Mm-hmm. And then she's gonna make marmalade.
Paddington 2.
Sorry, Tom,
And
for stealing.
Escape in a Balloon with Brendan Gleeson.
Yes.
That works.
Yes. Has Brendan Gleeson ever been on Coronation Street? This is what I do with all British actors. I'm like, have they been on Coronation Street? It's kind of like Law and Order here.
I can find no trace of him being in Coronation Street.
Oh, that's too bad.
But he was, AI says, handily in the Banshees of Inisherin.
Yes.
Thanks, AI.
Yes. Yeah, we knew that already, thanks.
Yep. If we can get it where it's actually sad that Debbie's leaving prison because she's having such a hoot, that would be great.
Yeah.
But I imagine the Carl stuff is going to come out,
Yeah.
and that'll be enough to get her back home.
Yes.
But it's,
Of course, the bruise on her shoulder should have been enough to get her back home, but...
oh, for goodness sake. Don't show us it and then not use it.
Right, yeah. Or the fact that seat was all the way back. Mm-hmm. And she's so toty.
4'11".
She's like your mum.
Yeah, same height as my mum.
Yeah. Which was nice. It was nice to be around somebody shorter than me.
That's what she was there for.
That's right. And to wash out my Wonder Woman underwear.
I guess the only question for me is that how Carl eventually confesses this. Because I think with the addition of some time, thinking about Debbie as his mum in prison for something that he did, and we can argue, the specifics of it, but if, I don't know, he's given a few signs of his conscience is screaming at him for what he's doing. He tried to go and tell the police, then Debbie stopped him. If Debbie hadn't stopped him, he would have gone to the police.
Yeah. I don't know. It feels like his narcissism is firmly getting in the way here.
It is, but
Because, like, that whole thing with Debbie, at no point does he see this from her perspective. It's all, you did this to me. You made my life miserable, and not once does he think about what her life was like at that point. Mm-hmm. You know?
Because really, they're both victims of this.
Right.
I feel like the narcissism is in conflict with other parts of him, though. I think there's maybe more to his character than that. Which would,
I don't know. It's a huge part of his character.
It is, but you would hope there was something else.
Have we seen proof of anything else?
Well, the fact that he was going to go to the police is really proof of
eventually.
it. And the fact that when he learned that she had another TIA, you could see he had a reaction to that that was
true.
That was something bordering on sympathy. I don't know. We'll see. Well, that was the week that was Coronation Street. Helen, once you're finished yawning, tell me, what is your moment of the week?
Well, it's Debbie and Carl, isn't it?
Is it?
It's Debbie and Carl, like, once they get into the apartment and, you know, like, when she yells at him, I was 17. That's my moment of the week right there. It's just so emotional.
It's not Brian getting hit in the head by a beer can.
No, it's not
really,
Brian
it isn't.
getting hit in the head with a beer can. It's not.
I've got that clipped already and everything.
I'm sorry. You know, there are weeks where I would definitely say it's Brian getting hit in the head with a beer can, but this is not one of those weeks.
I don't feel like we give it enough to Brian getting hit in the head by a beer can. But, yeah, it's fine. I just feel like the show plays us not deliberately for what the moment of the week should be.
Well, no, because there have been times that the show has laid something out on a platter and
Yeah, and we
said,
refuse it, but here we
nah,
are. But here we are going along with it.
Nah. Like Carla and Lisa getting engaged. We're like, nah.
Didn't we that week? No. I think we did that week.
No, I'm pretty sure we didn't. I'm pretty sure that's the week that we gave it to Brian getting hit on the head with a beer can.
I'll have to go back and check my records. I do have a spreadsheet. But anyway, Carl and Debbie's conversation in the flat is our...
About her being his mum.
Moment of the week.
Our moment of the week.
Your boring moment of the week?
Oh, it's so tough. We had no Daniel or Ken
Nope.
or Chesney.
No. They were all off being boring somewhere else.
Right, yes. And unfortunately, Brian wasn't boring. Nothing Brian said was boring. Oh, wait, didn't Roy say something boring? Or did Mel say something boring about electricity? I can't really think of anything, which is weird.
I'm inclined to punish Lauren for her...
For painting her nails? Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you. Yes, let's do that.
I'll do.
Lauren painting her nails. It's a boring moment of the week.
It wasn't really boring, but
it was unnecessary.
Yeah, and I want to draw attention to this, that this isn't the way that we want Lauren's character to go.
Right.
Thank you very much.
It's like they bent over backwards and sweated for months to get us to like this character.
And we're like, nope.
And we're like, nope, nope, nope. And then we finally do. And then they fuck it up again.
They make her an absolute cow.
Right. Yeah. And then...
Dev's ordering drinks and she's just not doing anything. Oh,
right.
Because you're going to change your mind. What?
And then for no reason, Nina is a cow as well. Like, don't do this to Nina. What has Nina ever done to you? It's bad enough that you've stopped making her a goth.
Yeah, bad form.
Bad form.
Yay!
Let's find out what our Twitter followers thought about this week's Corrie. And they vote in terms of yay, meh, zzz, depending on what they think. And the results so far are zzz, 30%, meh, 30%, and yay, 40%.
Yes. That feels well balanced.
I think Wednesday's was so good it should tip it a bit to the yay.
Yeah.
But we don't let that influence our score, Helen. So what would you give this week's episodes out of 10?
You know what? I ain't mad at it.
No, me neither.
I ain't mad at it at all. I'm giving it a 7.
I'm giving it a 7 as well.
Yeah.
I think Wednesday's was so good.
Yeah. It would have been an 8 if Lauren hadn't been painting her nails.
See, this is what happens, Corrie.
Yeah.
You make Lauren a bitch and we take a point off.
Yep. Give us our Lauren who smiles back, please.
Yeah.
And not in a sexist way.
All right, this episode was brought to you with thanks to our friends of the podcast, Daisy, French Helen, Pickles, DT, Wendy, Noel, Canadian Helen, Christy, Shandy, English Victoria, Aurora Yvonne, Heather Westerfield, Russell Whiting, Brittany Porter, Laurie Anna, Tina, Leah, Tara J, Fiona B, Canadian Jennifer, Josephine Tingy, Anne Greenwood, Trish R, Sarah Purbrick, Ali Q, Hunker Munker, Darren, the artist formerly known as Steal My Fridge, Pamela, Marge GT, Tom Ambrose, Christopher Anstey, Terry Nelly, Joe T, Corey Dales, Matthew McKinney, Welsh Emma, Matthew S, Rachel B, Uranium Jennifer, Catherine Montiero, Gary Heatley, Pam but not that one, Una, Amy, Jenny Rowell, Ozzy Alley, and Chris Horrocks. Thank you so much, folks. We very much appreciate your support.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
If you've ever bought a small coffee on tick, write in to tell us about it. We're the talkofthestreet@gmail.com, and we're at Corrie Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Threads and Blue Sky, or you can reach us the old-fashioned way, the Talk of the Street, P.O. Box 12, Eaton Rapids, Michigan, 48827. Our spoiler show will be available shortly after this one, and in this month's classics we're talking about episode 2284. Get access to this exclusive content by becoming a friend of the podcast. Find all the links at corriepodcast.com, and be sure to check out our pop culture sister podcast, The List of Lists.
Sam Raimi is back, bitches.
Thanks for making it to the end of another episode, and we will be back next week with more
Talk of the Street.
The Talk of the Street.
Bye.
Cheerio.